This video is for people who wants to learn about self-development, spirituality, and connection within yourself and with other people. And I'm talking from the position of where I used to be depressed, I used to have zero confidence, and I used to think negative and I didn't know about spirituality that much. So if you're somewhere along the journey of developing yourself, working on yourself or understanding your spirituality, understanding yourself a little bit deeper than before, then this is for you. And many people asked me, what is my book recommendations? I picked 3 books which helped me to learn a lot of wisdoms and experience in life. Books is absolutely the best way to learn, but it has to be something that you want to work on right now, right this moment, instead of something that you want to work on in the future. So right now, I want you to ask yourself okay, what is it that I should read? What is it that I want to work on myself right now? And then trust me, I promise the book will show up by itself. All right, let's just dive in straight away. The first book recommendation from me is How to Win Friends and Influence People. And unfortunately, I don't have a book right now because, look, I sent a box from Amsterdam to Japan and, along the moving from Amsterdam to Japan. And basically, it hasn't arrived yet. Anyway, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. This is something literally changed my life about communication. And the reason why the first book is about communication, you understand later on, but it literally directly coming back to yourself, to your own benefits, because not just making friends, this will give you the understanding, the deep understanding of the connection and the psychology behind of communication, one to another, and how people operate and how people are actually thinking and doing and feeling in communication, which actually reflects your own behavior. And then so you basically have a more understanding about yourself as well. I really struggled with lack of communication. I just simply didn't know how to communicate with other people, even though after I developed myself into more happier and very confident about myself, but this lack of communication skill kept me at the low point of vibration frequency, because there was a fear, and I felt lonely, and I found myself not being able to communicate and connect with other people. But sometimes it's really hard to connect with other people. Even if you are now focusing on yourself, rather than just thinking about someone else or communication. If you're in the society, whether you like it or not, there's going to be a people, obviously, your work, you'll just go to a cafe, or maybe parents, friends. And the truth is, you never know when you meet a beautiful soulmate. So I think it's bad to be prepared when it comes to, understanding self, of course, but understanding the people and the psychology. This book will literally take you a deep dive into the psychology and connecting others and understanding how people operate and how people are actually feeling and what they want in the communication. And I personally think that this is absolutely necessary, because I never learned that kind of thing in the school, right? Nobody taught me how the people operate and what people want and why we should understand the psychology. Nobody told me that. And all the psychology and the step-by-step approach in this book will definitely change your game. And what's crazy about this book is not even just learning about psychology and communication. It makes you being aware of your own self. By knowing what is written in this book, you have this realization within yourself. You also understand yourself too, if you follow the step and then pay attention to what this book says. And let me know what is your favorite book, because I'm also curious what is your favorite. So let me know in the comment. All right, let's just keep going. And the next book is Meditation by Marcus Aurelius. I really love how he looks on the cover, by the way. And Marcus Aurelius is basically 16th century Roman emperor. He's an OG. So his philosophy is very, very Western compared to where I'm from. However, what he talks about in this book is so similar to this Eastern approach of Zen and Buddhism. And this book will literally help you to care less about, other people's opinion and all that kind of stuff. And I personally know the true power of meditation, and I'm such a big fan of meditation. And when I heard that this book called Meditation, I was like, okay, I have to read it. I have to read it. And what I love the most about this book is he talks about the discipline a lot. And his philosophy is known as Stoicism. And I was super lazy and procrastinating everything in my life. But slowly guiding myself from lazy bastard to disciplined mindset, it was a game changer. And honestly, I was introduced to spirituality pretty late, compared to, the people who already talks about it in a teenager or 2021. I was introduced to a little bit later. Even though Japan is a very spiritual place, like I tell you, like, but the problem is people don't want to talk about it. Like, if you talk about religion and spirituality, law of attraction, energy, like, people think that you're crazy. People think that you're weird. And that is just a historical pain that we are actually dealing with. Anyway, this book, what this book says is literally something that I wish I knew. Something that I wish I knew, even if someone slapped my face. Even someone slapped my face and then hold my neck and like, you know, like, bro, you gotta learn this shit. And I'm not gonna let you go until you actually understand. Oh my god. Oh my god. I wish I could learn this 20 and someone could slap my face. And the whole idea of spirituality, I think it's written in this book as well, but the whole idea is idea. You know, spirituality, concept, ideas, everything is just idea. That what makes up the reality. You know, that's what reality looks like. Because experience has to be experienced. Okay, this is what it says on the Bible Zen. Like, you have to experience something. The idea is just an idea. But the point in this experiencing is not to be blind by your own perception. And what I mean by that is we have perception, and it will be structured based on what you know, how you felt. So whatever you experience as an experience is beautiful, like anything. If it's painful, it is beautiful because your mind makes it bad, good, you know, cool, lame, whatever. It's just that's what your mind determines. So if your mind thinks this is a bad experience, this is a negative experience, then the experience itself becomes negative to you. This book will teach you to understand that there's nothing good or bad. It's just life itself. But of course, it is easy to be said, right? Like, it's actually hard to take an action. It's hard to make a change. It's hard to, you know, step into a change in new places, new habit, new routine. I know that because, you know, I was such a lazy bastard back then. And especially challenging ourselves on a daily basis, like being consistent. You know, it's such a hard change. And oftentimes we have to face the fears. When it comes to the changing and challenging yourself, there's always a fears. And that's also the hardest part in life, to face what we are afraid of. Which allows me to talk about third book recommendation, which is the fear, understanding and accepting the insecurity of life. I love fear. Like, I used to hate that, but like now I adore fear. Like, I fucking love fear because it makes me feel that I'm alive. So literally I have to feel afraid, and I'm pretty sure it's because we get addicted to the pleasure, you know, that's why we all love sex and everything, but it's also we get addicted to the pain itself. So when you start loving the pain and fears, you will get addicted to it, and that will help you to grow faster. Because oftentimes we tend to avoid fear and pain because if you have to face, you might have to be perceived as someone coward. But you know what's funny? Because this made me feel so relieved. Actually, everyone else is feeling afraid. Everyone else has a fear. So everyone else is basically a coward. But this book says, if you pretend that you are not coward, if you pretend or fake that you're not scared, that's even more coward. And it hit me really hard when I've heard that Mike Tyson's interview, and he said he's so scared and cry before he goes on a fight. But at the same time, he loves fear. Like, he go crying and he's so scared. But then he loves it because he knows that it keeps us alive. And that, my friend, is the true beauty of fear. And this book will literally take you dive into this beauty of fear, and like it will like flip what you know about fear, what you think about fear, it upside down. 100% completely different idea and attitudes towards the fear. And I know it sounds crazy, but you will probably get in love with fear. Like, you will start to love fear if you read this book. Because most of the people wouldn't say the same thing as Mike Tyson, right? Like, I love fear, it keeps me alive, you know? Like, oh, it makes me scared, it makes me cry, but I love it. Like, nobody says that. Like, most of the people in the society wouldn't say the same thing as him. And if you start to talk like Mike Tyson, like, I love fear, and like your families and your friends, everybody thinks that you're crazy. And that's how much we're sleeping in this life. Like, that's how much we are dead sleep in this society. And in this will wake you up. This book is very raw. Like, it's literally cutting all the bullshit and just like straight up to the point. I want to share a beautiful part from this book, and it's actually on page 91. Let me just read it for you guys. And answers are dangerous. They'll kill your wonder. They are dangerous because they give you the feeling that you know, although you know not. They give you this misconception about yourself that now questions have been solved. I know what the Bible says. I know what the Quran says. I know what the Gita says. I have arrived. You will become a parrot. You will repeat things, but you will not know anything. This is not the way to know. Knowledge is not the way to know. Then what is the way to know? Wonder. Let your heart dance with wonder. Be full of wonder. Throw with it. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Damn! So overall, these two, and also the how to win friends and influence people, will definitely gives you a true understanding of life and spirituality and discipline. What this book does to you is it will change your perspective in life. It will change your attitude towards your life. So I highly recommend to read all of it. And with that said, thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Smash the like button and leave a comment below, and make sure you comment, give me your recommendation as well, yeah? And if you're new to my channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, notification bell, because I'm on a challenge to 100,000 subscribers, and I'm gonna get there. And if you support me, I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Love you guys. Ciao. Live your life like a movie.